It's time to rally in the valley. It's Matsu Miners Baseball, and Kevin Peel and Kyle Howard have it for you next on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Welcome into the Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Here's the voice of the Miners, Kevin Peel and Kyle Howard.
The Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks entered a stretch of 6 games against the Matsu Miners in 7 nights last night after winning 8 of the previous 9 games. Last night, none of that mattered as Calvin LeBrun made his way into Lee Jordan Field and worked 6 innings of scoreless baseball, lowering his earned run average for the season to .44. The Miners backed LeBrun with offensive support, tallying 11 hits and 4 runs in the 4-0 Miners win. Tonight, the Miners host the Chinooks, looking to extend a 1-game lead in the National League Division of the ABL to 2 games. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Hermon Brothers Field. You're tuning into the Napa Auto Parts pregame show. I'm Kyle Howard, alongside my broadcast partner, Kevin Peel. Another battle is set between these 2 NL Division rivals tonight. Calvin LeBrun continued his outstanding pitching performances of this year so far. Last night, piggybacking the rest of his teammates, now extending his dominance to 20 2/3 innings so far, allowing just 1 run throughout this entire year in his 3 starts. Simply unheard of. Tonight, the Miners turn to LeBrun's Gonzaga teammate, Eli Morgan. Morgan struck out 12 batters in his last start on Saturday night, a 1-0 Miners win over the Glacier Pilots. What does Morgan need to do to repeat this performance on Saturday night when he takes the hill tonight, Kevin?
Eli Morgan has even more favorable conditions for him tonight in the sense that he doesn't have to go out and pitch at 10 p.m. like he did on Saturday night, which is such an unconventional start time for anyone. It affected not only the Miners, but also the Pilots. But regardless of all that, Eli Morgan came out absolutely on the top of his game and pitched fantastic, like his teammates have been this year. For Eli Morgan, really, the only thing I can think of is making sure he keeps that pitch count down a little bit. The one thing that the Chinooks were doing last night, and the Pilots were able to have some success against the Miners in this sense, that they've been able to be patient with these pitchers enough that they've been getting their pitch counts up. And so when we've looked at it, Eli Morgan had that fantastic start, but had to pitch 105 pitches in 6 innings. So really finding a way to get that knockout punch a little bit early will really help him. Throwing more strikes, of course, is always good, but he really didn't struggle with missing the strike zone at all on Saturday. So really, I guess, and it's this part of this is out of his control too, because it depends how good the Chinooks come tonight and how good their patience is and how much they're able to work the count on Eli Morgan. But when you look at it, Morgan, just come out and throw as many strikes as he can, have those punch-out pitches ready.
And throwing a lot of pitches is very common with 12 strikeouts. It's right there, just alone 36 pitches, so very common in that sense. And you mentioned also the late start time. Tonight, an unconventional start time as well. We had a delay of 15 minutes for some issues that were beyond our control, and not weather-related as well. So a 7:15 start time tonight, that's a little bit different. Normally a 7 o'clock start time, but only 15-minute difference tonight. But another key point to talk about tonight, the Miners have been a perfect 8-0 on the road this season while holding a 3-3 record at home this year. They're looking to get back over 500 with a win tonight over the Chinooks. What do the Miners need to do to carry over that success into tonight that they've had from the road this year, Kevin?
One thing that we've noticed in watching these home games, Kyle, and especially that I've noticed, is their ability to jump out early. It's not been as good when it's come to home. They've tended to fall behind in those 3 games that they lost to the Pilots instead of getting out to the early lead. We saw them in Anchorage all last weekend. We saw it last night, especially getting all 3 of their runs, 3 of the 4 ultimately for the Miners, were early on in the game in the first 2 innings, finding a way to get out ahead because they've been able to get some runners on base at this park, and they've had opportunities to score early in games. It's just crucial that they're able to drive in those runners, because as BT would say, and one of the biggest keys for this team is to try and find a way to flood the bases. You do that, things are going to go well for you. And so the big thing here is to flood those bases, but then bring them home and maximize that damage as much as you can, because even the Chinooks last night got themselves out of a big first inning jam. Niles Nygaard, with the bases loaded, almost hits a grand slam. He's a couple feet from hitting a grand slam. Instead, it's a fly out to left, and it was a sacrifice fly, but that was the only run that they were able to get out of that situation with one out in the inning. So taking advantage of those opportunities, maybe a little better, will help them going a long way in giving support to their pitching staff, which they've been so good that they haven't needed support. But eventually, as things go on, these pitchers aren't going to be on their game all season, all the time. It's just the way baseball is. It's an ebb and flow type of game. You're going to be on some nights and not on some other nights. So this hitting, the hitting side of things, if they can start to take advantage of those opportunities when they flood the bases a little more, they're going to be in good shape.
And we'll have to see if they're able to do that tonight, as we'll step aside now for a quick break. We'll be back with more of the pregame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. My sit-down with Miners left fielder Vance Vizcaino is next. You're listening to the Matsu Miners pregame show on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Welcome to the pregame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. I'm here with Vance Vizcaino, the left fielder for the Matsu Miners. How you doing today, Vance?
Doing fantastic.
Great to hear. And tonight you take on the Chinooks again.
Yep.
Excited for that one again? You've so far been perfect on the year. Looking to improve on that tonight?
Always looking to get a win, that's for sure.
Good to hear that as well. Now, Vance, you've been drafted a few times in your career, and still this year been drafted again. Are you planning to sign, or is that something you don't want to discuss right now?
It's not that I don't want to discuss it. I'm just not sure what's going to happen just yet. I still got a few things to talk about with the team, talk about with my family, and stuff like that. So I'm still just kind of playing and waiting to see what happens.
Then your father also a scout for in the Royals organization. Excuse me. Also, is that where your favorite team came from, the Royals as well?
Yeah, mainly because when I was little, it had to be. I grew up watching them. I grew up watching my dad sign players, and he would tell me all about them and stuff like that. So I grew up watching them when they were a younger team, and they had their struggles, and now it's starting to pay off and it's starting to show. So it's fun being a Royals fan now.
And last year you got drafted by the Royals. How hard was it for you to walk away from that?
It wasn't easy, but I had a good opportunity at school waiting for me, so I knew even if I didn't go that year, I had a chance to go again next year. So I was excited either way.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's bright glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back to Matsu Miners Baseball as we head to the top of the first inning. I'm Kyle Howard and Kevin Peel here with you tonight, ready for some Matsu Miners Baseball again. A big showdown last night between these two teams. At the time, it was the first place in line as the Chinooks had taken a brief half-game lead over the Miners. They had ended up losing the next night to tie it back up. The Miners would then go on and win 4-0 last night. And now that's where we are now as the Miners attempt to extend that lead and also have a season series. So essentially that one-game lead could be 2 games tonight, or already is 2 games tonight, and they're looking to make that 3 tonight with a win. Here we are now, and we're ready to give you starting lineups Starting first with the visiting Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Batting first and playing shortstop, Will Bass. At batting second base, and batting second, and playing right field, Jacob Brobst. Batting third tonight and playing center field, Caden Owens. The DH and batting cleanup tonight, Matthew Ferruccio. Michael Staudinger will play first base, he'll bat fifth. Tyler Boxwell back from an injury, bats sixth and is catching behind the plate tonight. In left field, Caleb Potter, he bats seventh. David Morton will bat eighth tonight, he'll play second base. And Patrick Cromwell rounds out the batting order for the Chinooks.
And that's good to see Tyler Boxwell back with having the injury that he had. 2 injuries coming a couple nights ago for the Chinooks in their loss to the Pilots. Boxwell was one of those, but it's good to see him back and doing okay. So now he's going to get a chance to play, and see, hopefully the endurance will stand up as it goes for the other player right now, for Cameron Baronic, the other injury to the Chinooks. They're still looking at him currently to see how he's going to hold up his knee. He's getting that result back tomorrow, but Baronic, a big part of what this team does offensively.
It is, and before we get any further with that, let's go ahead and give you the defensive alignment for the Matsu Miners. Across the outfield from right to left, it's Chris Hall in right field, and center Brick Paskowitz. Connor Wanhanen moves from first base to left field in his second start. And now across the infield, starting at first base, Jack Zellner. Jake Schleppenbach at second base tonight. At shortstop, Tyler Wolf. Niles Nygaard made a couple dandy plays at third base last night. He's at third base tonight. And your battery of Zach Plunkett making his first start as a minor. And the righty Eli Morgan, who was absolutely on his game last Saturday against the Glacier Pilots, getting another win would be his second win of the year in that game. This year in 3 starts has worked 12 innings, and two of those starts also. Two of those were starts. One was a relief effort. This will be his third start tonight. But he has 18 strikeouts and just 4 walks, so he's certainly getting it done on the hill so far. Looking to continue that success here against Will Bass to start the game. Bass digs in. The recent leadoff hitter for this team. He takes the first pitch on a slider outside. Or they call it a strike, actually, on the outside edge. So it'll be now an 0-1 count to start the game. This game is underway at 7:18. Morgan winds and fires the next pitch. Change up outside. So now it's a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And now quickly ahead in the count is Morgan at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morgan's been a strikeout machine again. He had a team-high 12 strikeouts against the Glacier Pilots the other night. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul back to the screen, out of play. A foul ball or home run does damage to your car. Visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Morgan comes set and delivers a curveball that misses low. So now it'll be a 2-2 count coming from the righty Morgan against the shortstop and Will Bass. Here's a pitch. Strike 3, got him on a curveball. Had Bass fooled. He did not take the bat off his shoulder. Still looks stunned as he heads back to the dugout, but Eli Morgan strikes out the first batter he faces.
And we saw last night Calvin LeBrun getting 7 strikeouts in his start. Just a continuance of what this Miners pitching staff has been able to do, dominating in that factor of the game so far this year.
Morgan ready with it now. Brobst squares around a bunt, but takes a strike and a fastball. He's ahead behind the count now. No balls on 1 strike. Outfield and infield are playing straight away, and a beautiful night for baseball tonight. Fastball again. This time misses outside. It'll be a 1-1 count. 63 degrees tonight and mostly sunny. We had a chance of rain all day long, but that moved out of the way. Here's a pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Brobst way in front of that one. So now a 1 ball, 2 strike count coming again. Morgan trying to strike out Brobst. Morgan winds and delivers a pitch. Fastball got him looking. Eli Morgan sets 2 guys in a row to start the game looking. And he continues his dominance on the mound tonight. Again, 12 strikeouts on Saturday. He's already struck out the first 2 batters tonight.
That's just a nasty fastball there, and usually we haven't heard of Morgan having any movement on that pitch, at least towards the towards in on Jacob Brobst, and that one came back over the plate and backdoored him.
Swing and a miss on a changeup. It's an 0-1 count now to the center fielder, Caden Owens. Owens also pitches some for this team. He's been on the hill against the Miners this year. Here's the 0-1 count. Fly ball hit to center field. Racing toward right center field now. It'll be a tough play. And a dive by Chris Hall. I didn't think he had a chance with that ball at all. Looked like Brick Paskowitz have a long run coming toward right center field. Looked like it was going to hang up long enough. But then out of nowhere, between Schleppenbach and Brick Paskowitz, dives the right fielder Chris Hall and makes another nice play out in right field. So 3 up, 3 down for the Chinooks as we head to the bottom half of the first inning here in Palmer. No score. Matsu Miners coming to bat. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Now he's going to get.
Welcome back to Matsu Miners Baseball as we enter the bottom half of the first inning. It'll be Grant Page on the hill tonight for the Chinooks. Grant Page on the year has worked in 4 games, 2 starts, worked 13 and 1/3 innings, has allowed 15 runs, but just 8 of those earned. Or excuse me, 15 hits, 8 of those, 8 runs allowed, 6 of those earned. And 1-0 on the year with a 4.05 earned run average in that. The righty going to do work here against Brick Paskowitz. Paskowitz having another really nice year for this Miners team as he takes a change up outside. Paskowitz hitting .429 coming into this one. Certainly can't give him a night off with that kind of statistic. It's going to hit full, down the left field line. That's going out of play, but Caruso getting the night off, so in goes Paskowitz. Paskowitz playing a lot at DH recently. But when obviously right field last night, but when you continue to hit the ball like that, it's hard to get a day off because it's so important to the offense. The 0-2 pitch, here it comes. Fastball upstairs and away. So it'll be a 1-2 count now. Grant Page calls home Sugar Land, Texas. He attends Stephen F. Austin University. Here's this pitch from a curveball from Page. It'll be grounded to the shortstop. Throwing on to first base in time is a shortstop, Will Bass. And there's quickly 1 man out. Let's go ahead and give you the defensive alignments for the Chinooks team. Out in right field, Jacob Brobst. And center field, Caden Owens. Left field will be Caleb Potter tonight. And across the infield, Michael Staudinger. At first base, David Morton at second base. Will Bass at shortstop. Patrick Cromwell at third. And your battery of Grant Page and Tyler Boxwell. And now bunting at it is Chris Hall. He busts down the third base line. It's a beauty. Falling down, trying to field it is Grant Page. On to first base with an infield hit is Chris Hall. A good way to start for the Miners. So coming up straight up to the bat, he just pops the bunt out. Expecting a fastball. Got it. Grounded just down the left field line, or the third base line, make that. And a tough play for Page. He slips on the ground. And on to first base goes Chris Hall to start things here with 1 man out. Now that'll bring up Connor Wanhanen, Flower Mound, Texas, in the second start. Last night was held hitless, but I'd like to change all that right here. Ground ball to the right side, and it'll be fielded on by the first baseman. Stottinger will go to second with it. Covering at second base is Will Bass. They'll get the outfielder to fielder's choice. Juan Hanen safe at first base. So now 2 men out for the Miners. And I'll bring up Matt DiOrio. DiOrio, the DH tonight. Having a good year coming in. As DiOrio, the DH, waves the bat around. Another throw over to first base, back safely. Juan Hanen, the new arrival, standing at first base right now. As Grant Page comes set now. Ready with the first pitch to the at-bat. Here he comes. Fastball misses high. So it'll be a 1-0 count to start things here. Outfield and infield are both straight away with 2 men out. DiOrio sits in. Now the 1-0 pitch from Page. Hit well to deep left field. Will there be room out in left field for Caleb Potter? There will not, as it heads toward the Chugiak bullpen. So now to DiOrio, it'll be a 1-1 count coming.
That ball kind of hopped up on the bullpen just a little bit as kept carrying, went off the fence. So DiOrio got a good piece of it. Didn't look like it, but the ball kept carrying.
So now a 1-1 count coming. 2 men out for the Matsu Miners DH tonight. Page winds and delivers. The curveball gets way outside. Try to get it to come back over. They're going to issue a balk also. So they're going to say he started and stopped, and they're going to say that's why he had the ball miss way outside. As Page starts, stops, and then does finish his delivery. So on to second with a balk goes Juan Hanen. Now at the 1-1 count now, it'll be, again, DiOrio stepping in. A fastball clips him on the elbow, or at least the upper arm. It's hard to tell from here. But on to first base with 2 outs, now goes DiOrio. So now back-to-back batters have reached. One on a fielder's choice, one on a hit batsman. And I'll bring up Niles Nygaard now with 2 men out. Nygaard been very, very good for this team so far. Last night had 2 hits and 2 runs batted in. He doubled 4 times last night also, or 4 times in the year, so far. One of those hits last night was a double. Page comes home now. Curveball gets the outside edge, and it's an 0-1 count. Runners on second and first. 2 men out here in Palmer, Alaska. The Miners trying to score the first run of the ball game for either team. As Page comes set. Righty looks back. The runner at second. Delivers home. In the air to center field. It should be an easy play for the center fielder, Caden Owens. He'll move toward a couple steps to his left and makes the catch out in short right center field. So no hits, but 2 guys left on. And we head to the top of the first inning. And still no score here in Palmer. You listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to Matsu Miners Baseball. Heading to the top of the second inning. No score here from Hermon Brothers Field. Miners in their home greens tonight, taking on the Chinooks. One hit in the first inning for the Miners. That was a bunt single by Chris Hall. He would reach base safely, but then would be out at second base on a fielder's choice from Connor Wanhanen. Eli Morgan will deliver first pitch in there for a strike. Eli Morgan comes set now. Ready with the 0-1 pitch. Here he comes. Pitch taken a little away for a ball. Ferruto last night had a decent night at the plate for himself. Tough to get out the base pass. Here's the one that delivery from Morgan. 1-1 curveball, a beauty. Moves in and back over the plate for a called strike. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Ferruto last night is 2 for 4 with a walk. Nice .343 batting average to start the year for him.
Yeah, and he was one of those guaranteed guys that was getting on base seemingly every time.
Time call by Ferruto here, but yes, again, Ferruto was on base a lot last night. Certainly would like to change that trend tonight. Fastball misses outside, gets the outside edge, it'll be a 1-ball, 2-strike count. As Morgan looks in for the sign now, a 1-2 count coming. He winds and delivers. Fastball just misses. Morgan thought he had him. Already 2 strikes in the inning. There's 2 strikeouts, already to this game make that. Looking for his 3rd strikeout here. Retired the first 3 in order in the first inning. Now looking for the 4 in a row to start the game, and he does. He's swinging a miss. Ferruto gets him retired swinging. And now 3 strikeouts and 4 batters for the righty Eli Morgan. Michael Staudinger will step up. He is the first baseman for the Chinooks team. Staudinger, the lefty from Azusa Pacific University. 6'3", 195-pound first baseman. First offering misses outside. Or they get the outside edge, make that. It'll be an 0-1 count. The 0-1 count coming from Morgan. Here's a delivery. Fastball misses outside. It'll be a 1-1 count now. Staudinger, 330 over 39 games last season. Just takes the ball outside. 2-1 count now to him. So going to do some damage here as he grounds the ball back up the middle. A dive off the glove of the diving Tyler Wolf as he goes right behind the second base bag. That'll be in for a base hit. So on to first goes Staudinger. Staudinger was coming in as a .260 batter, will raise his batting average with a single here. That'll bring up the catcher Tyler Boxwell, who is coming off an injury. Boxwell in the air, a .273 clip. Has a double and 3 knocked in. Best with the runner on first base. A throw over to first base on the pitch way outside. And back safely is Boxwell. Try the pitch out and throw down to first base. Plunkett behind the plate tonight with his first start of the minors. Very good defensive catcher is Zach Plunkett. We're getting a good feel for him tonight. Throw over to first base and back safely again goes Staudinger. Outfield and infield both straight away. Make the infield, they're at double play depth. Curveball just misses outside. That'll be a 2-1 count to him. So now 1-1 or 2-1 count, coming. So pitch from Morgan. Popped in the air to center field, racing toward the right center field gap, and now in shallow ground in right field is Rick Paskowitz. He makes the catch. Pasquale's had to come a long way for that one, but it was hit so softly, he had a lot of time to go get that one. So now with 2 men out, it's going to be Caleb Potter, the left fielder. Potter.
Yeah, you mentioned Plunkett in the last at bat there, Kyle, and just adds to the ability of these catchers, and Matt DiOrio getting the start at DH tonight, and also J.J. Hancock, a very good defensive catcher as well.
Curveball catches the letters here for a called strike.
Always good to add depth.
It absolutely is. So Morgan comes set. Already with the 0-1 pitch. Here's the delivery to Potter, Fastball misses low. It'll be a 1-1 count to him. Potter on the season, an even 200 batter. Serving in 3 runs with a double. Throw over to first base. Back safely goes Staudinger. Infield and outfield both at normal depth and straight away. Trying to get the third out of this inning for Morgan. Morgan's a lot of base hit in this inning, but so far no harm done. Here's a pitch. Popped into the short right center field. Paskowitz coming on in the right center field gap. Makes the catch in normal right field. Another long run for Brick Paskowitz, but he flags this one down. So despite the base hit, he is able to get 3 batters out after that. As we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Still no score here in Palmer. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by human error? The Matsu Miners have joined the movement to spread the public's awareness to these dangerous natural disasters. Whatever your reason for lighting a fire is, always do so responsibly. For questions on burning in the Matsu area or to learn how to acquire a burn permit, call 907-761-6338 or visit www.forestry.alaska.gov. Because as Smokey the Bear would say, only you can prevent wildfires. Jack Zellner will lead things off for you. As he steps in now. Swing and miss the first pitch from Grant Page. Page would face 5 batters in the first inning, had 2 on that were left stranded in the first. It allowed that leadoff base, a base hit by Chris Hall, the second batter of the game. Ground ball to the right side. Should be an easy play at second base for David Morton. He'll move to his left and fire over across the infield. So 1 man out for the Miners. That'll bring up Tyler Wolf to shortstop.
Still a good cut there by Zellner. And hit good solid contact. We've seen that a lot from these Miners hitters early in this year. They've just been hitting them right at people. That time would have been a solid single many of places through this infield.
First pitch fastball taken upstairs. So now heading to count is Tyler Wolf. 1-0 count. Another fastball taken aside, a 2-0 count to Wolf. Wolf last night had a nice night at the plate. 2 hits and 4 at-bats and scored a run. One of the 4 Miners runs from last night. This time a curveball catches the inside edge, and it's a 2-1 count to the shortstop. Here's a pitch. Fastball misses outside. And that'll be a 3-1 count to Tyler Wolf. Trying to get aboard with a walk or a base hit. Here's a pitch. Fastball misses up the stairs again, so a 5-pitch walk issued to the shortstop Tyler Wolf. On to first he goes. Now bring up Zach Plunkett, his first at-bat as a Matsu Miner. Plunkett the catcher. from Hurst, Texas. He's a freshman at TCU. 6'1", 210-pound catcher. It's Grant Page, the righty-on-righty matchup, ready with it now. He delivers home. Change up right at the letters for a called strike. 0-1 count now. The infield moves to double play depth with the runner on first and Tyler Wolf. The outfield will play straight away. Here's the pitch. Change up misses low this time. It'll be a 1-1 count. We've been used so much this weekend to the Pilots using extreme shifts in the outfield, especially in center field. Chinooks playing the regular baseball, that is, at least. As the light rain has begun to fall here in Palmer. Hopefully not going to be too much of a factor tonight. Just lightly falling as we speak. Grant Page comes set with a runner on first base. He comes home. Swing and a miss. Change up again to Zach Plunkett. Plunkett out in front of that one. It'll be a 1-2 count to him. So now, what's the 1-2 count to Plunkett? We'll have a runner on first base for the righty. Righty-on-righty matchup. Page looks back to runner at first now. He's ready with the 1-2. Here he comes. Swing and a miss. Zach Plunkett, a foul tip, excuse me. They say he fouled at the end of the mitt. Strike 3, the first recorded strikeout of the evening for Grant Page. And there's 2 men out here for the Miners in the second inning.
Yeah, that was a good pitch that time by Grant Page, challenging him with the fastball upstairs. Plunkett still trying to adjust a little bit to ABL and chased it, but he'll have a better at-bat next time. You can guarantee that.
So now 2 men out for Grant Page, the righty. Throw to first base, back safely goes Tyler Wolf. Page calls home Nacogdoches, Texas. Or excuse me, that's where his university is. So it's the hometown of Brigham Hill. Brigham Hill at Texas A&M, though. Throw to first base, scooped up nicely at first base by Stoudinger. Again, back on the hill goes Grant Page. Ready with the first pitch now to Jake Schleppenbach. Now a delivery to Schleppenbach. The runner goes at first. There will be nobody to cover the bag. The ball gets there before Tyler Wolf does, but it skips on to center field as Bass was not covering. A little bit of miscommunication there from Boxwell and Bass, I believe. So give Tyler Wolf a stolen base, a runner in scoring position. Now with 2 men out for Jake Schleppenbach. Second baseman for the Miners digs in, trying to drive home that run. If he can do that, that'll be RBI number 4 for him on the year. Here's a pitch. Fastball upstairs. It'll be a 2-0 count now. New baseball given to Grant Page. So he heads back to the rubber now and a runner on second base. Rick Paskowitz, the top of the order on deck. Should the inning continue, and Jake Schleppenbach certainly hopes the inning does continue. Page comes set, looks back to the runner at second. Now he comes home. Fastball gets the outer edge. Make it a 2-1 count now. This Page looks in now. Looking in for the 2-1, trying to get out of this inning. He has a runner on second. The Miners are trying to put the first run aboard here in the inning. Here's a pitch. Foul back to the screen, and we're going even 2 balls and 2 strikes. You're looking for a way to get closer to the Valley's team? Now you can. Like the Matsu Miners Facebook page. You can also follow them on Twitter at ABL Miners. Get more connected with your Miners today. So now a big 2-2 pitch coming from Page to Jake Schleppenbach. The runner on second base and 2 men out here in the bottom of the second. As Page delivers home. This time a curveball misses in. And now Jake Schleppenbach takes the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So all the infielders playing close to the grass, if not on the grass, on the outfield grass, that is. Grant Page comes set, and he's ready with the payoff pitch. 2 men out here in the inning. Here's the pitch. Popped up to the left side. That'll go out of play. So now again, Schleppenbach working the pitcher here. So far, a 6 pitch at bat for him. He's looking for a mistake pitch left over the plate where he can drive in the gap somewhere and drive home a run. Page taking a long pause here. Now he comes set. Looks back the runner, and here he comes. Popped up in the air in the infield. This one is a room for Tyler Boxwell. There will not be. This one goes just over the press box where we're sitting. So now a payoff pitch coming again with 2 men out.
Miners kind of taking a page out of the Chinooks playbook in terms of running the count high. So far, the Chinooks in the first 2 innings have been able to get some long at-bats against Eli Morgan. Schleppenbach here getting a nice long at-bat against Page. Now he's going to try and capitalize.
Here's the payoff pitch again. Morgan make that ball four, from Grant Page. So on to first base goes Jake Schleppenbach. There are 2 runners on again with 2 men out. Same thing that happened in the first inning for the Miners. The Miners unable to cash in back in the first, but Paskowitz would like to cash in right here with the base hit.
One of the most dangerous guys you could ask for to be up in this situation. Had the big 2 RBI single last night in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, he did a good night at the plate for him last night, indeed. So far today, though, grounded to the shortstop his first time up. So fouled off his foot. He goes down to the ground. Let's hope he's all right. But an 0-1 count coming to him.
Brick's a tough guy, though. I'm sure he'll be able to shake that one off.
As he now still trying to shake it off. It must have been a big stinger off his foot. Now he's going to walk it off some more. Now with 2 men out, no score here in the bottom of the second inning. Miners have runners on first and second. Brick Pascal was trying to plate them both. As Page comes set. Here's a pitch. Fastball misses outside. Now an even 1 ball and 1 strike count. As the light drizzle here continues to fall. But sunny skies. Page comes set, looks back the runner, second, he delivers. Line drive right at the second baseman, Morton. So the ball hit very well off the bat of Brick Paskowitz, but unfortunately for him, right at David Morton. So no hits for the inning, but 2 guys left on for the Miners as we head to the top of the third inning. It's 0-0 here from Hermon Brothers Field. You listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. David Morton will lead things off as we head to the top of the third inning. Still no score here in Palmer as Eli Morgan heads back to the rubber. So far, just allowed that one base hit to Michael Stoudinger in the second inning to go with 3 strikeouts. First pitch changeup misses away. It'll be a 1-0 count now to Morton. Morton at second base tonight. Swing and a miss on a changeup this time. It'll be a 1-1 count. So lefty Morton facing the righty Morgan. Morgan will wind and fire. Fastball blows him away this time. It'll be now a 1-2 count to him. David Morton for the season, a .227 hitter. Serving in 2 runs with 1 double. Ready with the 1-2 pitch. Has popped to the third base side. Nygaard giving chase and foul ground. We'll see if there's room for him. There is by the gravel area. A long run for Nygaard, but he's able to flag it down and foul ground. There's 1 man out now for Eli Morgan. So now that'll bring up Patrick Cromwell, the number 9 hitter. We're in the 8-9-1 phase of the batting order. Still no score here in Palmer. Cromwell digs in. Cromwell a 179 hitter, but he does have 5 runs knocked in and 7 walks. So don't let the batting average fool you. Fastball on the outer edge for a called strike. It's 0-1 count now. Morgan ready with it now. He delivers home. Curveball misses inside. So a 1-1 count coming.
See that light drizzle falling. That could be a constant problem that we're facing tonight, but can play through that.
Slow roller hit to the shortstop, Tyler Wolf. He fires across the infield in time for the out. Quickly 2 men out for Eli Morgan now. Morgan has thrown a lot of pitches at this point. Certainly is starting to calm down a little bit. Getting a couple quick outs to start the inning. So now we turn the top of the order back over for Will Bass, who struck out his first time up. Will Bass at Wayland Baptist University. Swing and a miss to the fastball. He's behind the count. No balls and 1 strike.
Chinooks coming with a little different strategy in this inning, coming out swinging against Eli Morgan. Might be trying to make contact earlier in the count with how good he's been at striking these minors out.
It's a curveball, misses low. But he has been very good at striking out hitters this year. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup this time, and now Morgan back ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bass was named his team MVP this past season at Wayland Baptist. So shot fouled on the left field line. So 1-2 count coming into him. Again, we already know about this. He has a lot of speed, but stole 16 bases this past season at Wayland Baptist as well. So you want to keep him off the base paths if you can. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Tried the fastball to get him to go there, but did not, and a fastball way outside. Evens the count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Morgan still a pitch away from getting out of the inning with the 1-2-3 inning. He did so in the first as well, but here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him swinging. That's strikeout number 4. Eli Morgan again with the second 1-2-3 inning of the night. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Bottom of the 3rd inning, excuse me. So Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. The Alaska Railroad and the Alaska chapter of Operation Lifesaver offer the following tips to railbelt neighbors and friends to stay track-wise and safe. Trains and vehicles don't mix. Never race a train to the crossing. Even if you tie, you lose. Trains are closer and faster moving than they appear. When you see a train approach, wait for it to go by or before crossing the tracks. Right now with baseball here, the first pitch to Chris Hall is taken low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Hall. Hall bunted aboard in the first inning. That was the only hit so far for the Miners. Fastball taken outside for a ball. It'll be a 2-0 count. So now a 2-0 count coming from Grant Page. So he comes set now and delivers a 2-0. Slap down the left field line, and that's going into the Chinooks bullpen foul. So a 2-1 count now coming. On deck is Connor Wanhanen. As Page facing 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order for the Miners. He delivers a pitch. Fastball upstairs is a 3-1 count to the right fielder. Hall looking for his second hit of the ball game. Here's a pitch. Fastball misses upstairs and away, and on to first base for the second time tonight goes Chris Hall. He walks here. That'll bring up Connor Wanhanen.
Not a very good first at bat there for Grant Page. Fell behind and could never recover through just one pitch that Chris Hall was really able to go after. He fouled that one off, but that didn't miss getting down into the corner for a double by very much.
It did not at all. It was a very sharply hit ball down the left field line that went just foul there. Now it'll be Wanhanen batting as a runner goes to first base. It's pop foul. So on to first base again will be Chris Hall. He'll have to head back. Wanhanen looking for his first hit of the minor. Would like to do so now. As the infield moves to double play depth now. And the outfield playing straight away for him.
Interesting move by the skipper, Ben Taylor, going first pitch. Haven't seen that too often this year, but hey, why not? Get Connor Wanhanen, who's getting adjusted to the Alaska Baseball League, give him a shot to crack the bat right away.
Made a couple good plays at first base as well last night, so a good defender as well playing out in left field tonight. And here's a changeup that catches the edge, just a called strike. It'll be an 0-2 count now on Wanhanen. Trying to get his first base hit with the Matsu Miners. They have just one hit on the day now. He's looking for the second here. His Page comes set. Now he delivers home. Swing and a miss. Down swinging goes Connor Wanhanen. Strikeout number 2 for Grant Page.
Now batting your DH number 9, Matt.
And now that'll bring up Matt DiOrio, the designated hitter tonight. DiOrio was hit by a pitch his first time up. He is looking to get a hit now, though. Certainly didn't want to reach base that way the first time, but he'll still take it.
That was a ball that ran up and in. Really just brushed him, though. Fortunately, didn't hit him too hard.
The runner on first base, one out. The infield at double play depth. The first pitch, a fastball away. So it'll be in a 1-0 count to him now. Page comes set. Page looks back the runner at first. Now comes set. The runner goes to first base. The ball gets away from Boxwell. Call will take a big turn around second base, but it'll slip around second base. So I'll have to hold right there. That pitch number 43 of the ball game so far for Grant Page. So score without a stolen base. Had he gotten to third, would have been a pass ball as well, most likely. But he just gets a stolen base here as he was off and running before the ball got past him. So a 2-0 count now to DiOrio with the runner in scoring position. That also gets rid of the double play scenario. So the infield moves back to normal depth now. Here's one chopped toward the first base back. Will Bass has also been trying to cheat behind the second base bag to try to make the Chris Hall sleeping over there. So there is a little bit of a gap between shortstop and third base right now. If you could go the other way with it, could easily be a base hit that could play to run. Chris Hall with a lot of speed at second. Ground ball to the right side. Fielding and throwing across the first base is David Morton for the out, but on to third base goes Chris Hall. So the potential first run of the ball game stands 90 feet away from home plate. And now to be Niles Nygaard.
Now batting your third baseman, number 16, Niles Nygaard.
Niles today has flown out to center field his first time up. Like a base hit here. He's had a hit in every ball game he's played in so far. He's been a great addition to this team. He takes a fastball inside. Coming into the day, it was at 333. His average dipped a little bit with the flyout earlier. But still a great start for the third baseman from Washington. So he grounds this one to the left side. A tough play in the hole for Bass. He'll fire across the infield, and he gets him by about a step. So the Miners lead over runner stranded at third base as we head to the top of the fourth inning. Kevin Peel will have the play-by-play action for you. Still no score here in Palmer. You listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Two, three, and four coming up in the order for the Chinooks as we head to the top of the fourth here at Hermon Brothers Field. I'm Kevin Peel alongside my partner Kyle Howard, bringing you Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. First pitch, fastball for a strike from Eli Morgan, 0-1. Had a very quick top of the third inning that he was able to work. Another called strike. And Jacob Brobst flustered. Coming into yesterday's game, Brobst was the leading average on this Chinooks team, but with Ferruto's performance yesterday, he was able to pass him. This one popped down the right field line, and it's going to get past Chris Hall. It's fair. He's going to make a throw to second, and it is in time to get Brobst. So the ball dropped in fair territory. Chris Hall lunged after it, but it got behind him just ever so slightly. He's able to recover quickly, get up, and gun him out at second base, as that was a great tag by Tyler Wolf. And so there is a single, though, for Brobst, but thrown out trying to advance to second base. So now one gone here in the top of the fourth inning. It's the second hit of the game for the Chinooks. Ball just missed from Morgan.
Certainly an unconventional play. You don't see that very often, a base hit to start the inning, but was caught getting out of second base.
That's another ball inside, 2-0 the count on Caden Owens out of Oral Roberts University. Owens was in the cleanup spot yesterday and went 1 for 4 with a strikeout. 2-0 pitch. Just missed. Must have been a little low, said home plate umpire Jim Leiser. 3-0 the count. The righty Morgan against the lefty Owens. And that one's in the dirt as well. So Morgan will issue a walk. That is his first walk issued of the day. Fortunately for the Miners, though, they don't have to deal with Brobst being on base. One gone here in the top of the fourth. No score. Caden Owens now reaching on the walk. And that'll bring up Matthew Ferrudo.
That was a 48th pitch thrown by Morgan, so he's been pretty efficient so far. He does have 4 strikeouts as well.
Ferrudo coming into this contest at 343 in the average. Throwdown from Plunkett had a chance, but he is safe. As he was checking Caden Owens down there at first. Count 0-1. Chinooks in their visiting navy blue jerseys with red numbers and letters, white trim, gray pants. That's a slow breaking ball from Morgan, and it misses outside 1-1. Miners wearing the greens tonight. The yellow numbers and lettering. White pants. As the sun continues to merge itself and make itself known even more. 1-1, the runner's going. Throw down from Plunkett's a one-hopper that gets away from Schleppenbach and into center field. So Caden Owens going to get a steal. As Owens was going pretty quickly, the Chinooks on the season are very good base stealers. In fact, lead this league in stealing bases. They get another one here from Caden Owens, their right fielder. Or center fielder for tonight. He got the start out in right field last night. Now, Matthew Ferrudo has a runner in scoring position for him with a 1-2 count. 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Still scoreless. The Chinooks threatening, though. Swing and a miss. Got him, strike 3. Looked like the changeup that time from Morgan. It was elevated, but he got Ferrudo to swing right through it. That's a big out. Now with 2 gone, that will bring up Michael Staudinger.
How about 5 strikeouts for Morgan through just 3 2/3 so far. Again, has his pitches working for him tonight. Has allowed 2 hits, but so far has not allowed anyone to come around to score.
Throw to check the runner, and Owens back in safely as Wolf snuck behind Owens. Got to the bag quickly. Morgan wheeled around and threw it quickly to check Owens, but he was back in time, sliding. Now the first pitch to Staudinger is fouled straight back. 0-1. If a foul ball or home run does damage to your car, visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Proud broadcasting sponsor for the Miners Radio Network. And a throw, it's going to go into center field as Wolf didn't go to cover the bag. Brick Paskowitz has to make sure that he can get the throw in as the ball gets away a little bit from Plunkett. Paskowitz threw all the way home there. Morgan that time tried to wheel around and make a throw, and Wolf was not home. No one was home, in fact. So moving to third now is Caden Owens. Count 0-1 on Michael Staudinger, and Zach Plunkett's going to go have a chat with his pitcher. That time Wolf was faking the move towards second base to try and get Owens to take a step back towards the bag, and instead what happened was Morgan thought Wolf was going to be there, and he was not. Ball into center field. Paskowitz able to pick it up and get it in, though, to make sure Owens wasn't able to come home. Now Staudinger with a runner 90 feet away from home plate, trying to drive him in. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him was Morgan with the changeup. 0-2. So that's going to be an error to Eli Morgan. His first error committed of the season. But he's a pitch away from getting out of this. 0-2. Fouled away. Nice job by Staudinger to stay alive. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. The line for the Chinooks. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Miners. Caden Owens reaching on a walk, which was the first one issued of the game for Eli Morgan. 0-2. Outside for a ball. Plunkett was set up that way. Ball sailed outside a little further than Morgan wanted it to. Still ahead in the count, though, 1-2 to Michael Staudinger, the first baseman for the Chinooks. Curveball, high and outside, 2-2. So he's starting to get himself back into this count. Staudinger single back in the first. It was a ground ball right back up the middle. First hit of the Chinooks night here in Palmer. 2-2 pitch is fouled away, and Staudinger continues to battle. Count still even at 2.
Can't tell if we're about to have activity in the Chinooks bullpen or not. There's a pitcher walking around the bullpen. Not sure if it's anything serious or not. Wouldn't imagine so, though, given the no score so far.
Morgan ready. 2-2 is popped up into foul ground. Niles Nygaard on his horse coming over, tries to slide, but that one got out of play over the fence, the chain link fence over there. Good effort again by Nygaard, as we would expect. Just not enough room for him over there.
Gotta love his hustle still. The ball well out of play it ended up being, but he slides into the wall just in case the ball were to fall over that direction.
Michael Staudinger still alive, battling with Eli Morgan. This pitch is approaching 10 pitches. This at bat, it's a popper to center, and Tyler Wolf's going to come out into the grass in short center field to make the catch. So once again, Eli Morgan gets himself out of a jam. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Hermon Brothers Field with the Miners and Chinooks scoreless on Fred Meyer Day at the park. Stay tuned. You're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Want to learn more about your Matsu Miners? Visit their website at www.matsuminers.org. It provides you with schedules, stats, rosters, upcoming events, and more. matsuminers.org, the official website of the Matsu Miners. Grant Page gonna come back to the hill for the Chinooks. His team threatened in the top of the 4th inning, but was not able to give him any support so far, as Eli Morgan got out of that inning, and Jack Zellner will take a strike. The knees 0-1. Zellner, Wolf, and Plunkett do up 6, 7, and 8 in the Miners order. 0-1 is low for a ball from Page. 1-1. Miners have forced a couple jams themselves against Grant Page, but he's been able to get out of these situations. That one's grounded to first, and it will be an easy play as Staudinger will run over to make the play by himself and retire the Miners' first baseman, Jack Zellner. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th for the Miners.
Quick work made here by Page. Good pitch to get him out there.
Wolf now coming up. He walked back in the 2nd inning, and he'll take a called strike at the knees. 0-1. Tyler Wolf's average, a bit misleading coming into this contest at 152. He'll take another call strike in the knee. He's 0-2. But a guy that has had timely hits for this team, that tying run last week in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Miners were down, and he grounds one through the hole and into left field for a base hit. Tyler Wolf gets his first hit of the night. This is the second hit of the night for the Miners, and how about his third hit in the past 2 games? Another point I was going to mention real quick is that he had 2 great hits last night, taking pitches that were away from him and driving them to right field. Gets another one there. But this time he pulled it to left field. 1 out, runner on, and that'll bring up Zach Plunkett.
On the 53rd pitch thrown by Grant Page here in the 4th inning. Wolf today has reached on a walk and singled and also stolen base, so Seafold is up and going at first base again.
First pitch to Plunkett's up and in for a ball, 1-0. Plunkett struck out swinging in his first at-bat. First time we've seen this year both TCU players starting in the same game, Zach Plunkett and Connor Wanhanen. 1-0. This one hit hard and foul out of play, 1-1. I have the official attendance number for you later, but it is an impressive turnout here for Fred Meyer Day at the ballpark. Lots of giveaways here at the park. $1,500 worth of merchandise was donated by Fred Meyer to the ballpark that fans can win today. A lot of fans out there trying their luck at winning some of those great prizes. 1-1 is up high to Plunkett, 2-1. And the weather increasingly has gotten better, too. It was kind of concerning in the middle afternoon. There was a lot higher chance of rain earlier, upwards of 70 to 80%. But that died back. We've only had the casual sprinkles, a couple during the game itself, but not enough to stop play. 2-1 is lined towards left, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Zach Plunkett, first hit for the Miners. As that will be hit number 3 for the Miners. Now 2 men on, just 1 out. Now bring up Jake Schleppenbach.
Back-to-back base hits for the Miners now. Maybe they're starting to figure something out against Grant Page here. Grant Page has been pretty good about working out a jam so far. He walked a couple batters, but really not into much of a funk at all. But now he's got back-to-back base hits he's allowed for Jake Schleppenbach, who's already reached once today.
Outfield shading toward the gaps, leaving a lot of space down the lines for Jake Schleppenbach. And he takes the ball outside, 1-0. Miners second baseman out of the University of Nebraska. Had a chance to talk to him before yesterday's game, talking about his experiences growing up in Nebraska. 1-0 pitch, and this one's popped up foul and out of play. I'll even up the count of 1-1. And Schlepp also very excited to be at the University of Nebraska, his school, his dream school. Grew up rooting for him, saw some very successful teams in the mid-2000s at Nebraska. Helped inspire him to go to school there and play baseball for him. 1-1 outside for a ball, 2-1. As Grant Page falls behind. Bass, the shortstop, is the one checking Tyler Wolf at second base. Plunkett with a modest lead at first, but not being held by Staudinger. And the 2-1 from Page is back up the middle, off the base and into center field. Tyler Wolf's going to be waved around. Plunkett slips and is going to try and get back to second. He will be out, but Tyler Wolf will come in to score. And Jake Schleppenbach, an RBI single. The 4th hit of the game for the Miners, their 3rd consecutive hit. Plates a run and gives them their first lead of this contest. As the ball was going to go up the middle anyway, but it bounced off the base towards left center field. And Plunkett stumbled around second base, made a wide turn, was going to try and get back. And the Chinooks noticed that. Were able to throw him out at second. So now there'll be 2 outs in the inning. The 3 consecutive hits for the Miners play to run. And going right away is Schleppenbach to throw down. And he is out at second base. Schleppenbach looked like he had a pretty good slide attempt in there. And he's going to talk with the umpire, the base umpire, for just a second to see why he was out. But that will be the end of the inning. The Miners, though, do get on the board. An RBI single by Jake Schleppenbach drives home Tyler Wolf. We head to the 5th. Miners 1, Chinooks nothing on your home for Miners baseball. Tyler Boxwell, the batter. He will face Eli Morgan, who now is working with his first lead of tonight's game. 1-0 Miners. Boxwell takes a strike at the knees with a fastball. 0-1. Interesting bottom of the 4th inning for the Miners, but they get home a run. That one missed outside for a ball. 1-1. As Jake Schleppenbach drives in another run. Had an off day yesterday, but comes in right away. Gets a big RBI single to put the Miners on the board. 1-1 pitch is a dandy of a curveball from Eli Morgan at the knees. 1-2.
That base hit by Schleppenbach, a good break off the bag.
Popped up into foul ground. Niles Nygaard going to try and head over that way, but it gets out of play. Foul. 1-2.
It was a good break off the bag on the single up the middle, but a tough break as Plunkett rounded the second base and fell down. So a good break and a bad break all in one play. Miners do get that one run, though. They lead at 1-0.
1-2 pitch from Morgan on the way. It's a fastball flown foul once again. 1-2. Flag in dead center field has remained pretty calm and still in its place tonight. Not much wind blowing here in Palmer as that misses for a ball. 2-2. But the Miners bullpen sitting in the shade over there. Right by the right field corner. That ball misses inside once again from Morgan. I'll fill up the count. 3-2 as Boxwell worked a good at bat. Three-two pitch is lined down the right field line, and that will be a single for Boxwell. Hall gets over there quickly and is able to hold it to just a single. If it was hit a little bit harder, would have been a definite double, but it didn't get all the way to the corner, so Chris Hall uses his speed to his advantage there, gets over there, and holds Tyler Boxwell to a single.
It looks like Tyler Boxwell seems to be back and healthy. Worked a 7-pitch at bat before lining one very hard down the right field line for that base hit.
I'll bring up Caleb Potter. And that is a breaking ball that missed low from Morgan. 1-0. Caleb Potter on the day had a fly out back in the second inning. Miners on top of the Chinooks right now, 1-0 here in the top of the fifth. Runner on first. Nobody out. Strike. Fastball from Morgan. 1-1. Caleb Potter in last night's game was 1 for 4 with a single at Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak as the Miners won that contest over the Chinooks 4-0. 1-1. Potter squares to bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Plunkett came up like he was going to gun to first, but held on to the ball. Now 3 hits for the Chinooks after that Boxwell single. Eli Morgan shakes off the first sign. Now he's ready as he comes set. 1-2 pitch. Reaching for it and following it straight back is Potter. Chased a slider that was ducking out of the zone from Morgan. Good job to waste it. One-two pitch from Eli Morgan is grounded to short. This could be 2. Wolf flips on to Schleppenbach for 1 on to first, and they got him. A double play as Caleb Potter was out by about a half a step. Just about as good of a turn as you could ask for there. Wolf flipped it on to second, smoothly to Schleppenbach, who threw on to first. Traditional 6-4-3 double play, and just like that, 2 gone, nobody on. Top of the fifth, Miners still up 1-0, and that'll bring up David Morton.
After a 7-pitch at bat and also now a 5-pitch at bat, there is a good break for Morgan to slow his pitch count down.
Curveball for a strike from Morgan, 0-1. Might help the pitch count a little bit too. Missed outside, 1-1. Not having to getting that extra out via the double play. 1-1. And this one grounded to first. Jack Zellner's going to flip to Morgan, who's got a hustle, and he got there in time to retire the side. Boxwell gets a hit, but the double play cancels that. And then the 3-1 put out to end the inning as we head to the bottom of the fifth here in Palmer. Miners up 1-0 on your home for Miners baseball. Summer is the perfect opportunity to work on your golf game. The Palmer Golf Course is located right in the heart of Palmer, just about 2 miles from Hermon Brothers Field. Call 907-745-4653 today for more information. So the Miners are getting ready to come to bat. This is the second of 6 consecutive games for the Miners against the Chinooks Baseball Club. The Chinooks actually tomorrow will play the Pilots. But this is the beginning of a long stretch for the Chinooks and a crucial one, facing their division foes, the Pilots and the Miners. They were able to split earlier in the week, winning on Monday night, or Tuesday night, excuse me, losing on Wednesday night, and then losing last night to the Miners. Missing outside with his first pitch is Page to Brick Paskowitz. Top of the order, due up for the Miners. 1-0 pitch, and this one's popped up into center field. Coming on now just a little bit to his left is Caden Owens to make the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the fifth. I'll bring up Chris Hall.
Quick out there for the pitcher, Grant Page, something he probably needed, throwing a lot of pitches the last couple innings. And a quick out to start the inning with just 2 pitches to break Paskowitz.
1 out, Chris Hall, the batter. And Hall pops this one to short left field, coming on quickly and making the sliding catch is Caleb Potter in left field. It was a tough play as Chris Hall, that time, got that one off the end of the bat, poked it the other way. Looked like it was going to drop in the other way, but it did not. Nice catch by Potter, who came from the left center field gap to make that catch. 2 gone quickly in the bottom of the 5th for the Miners. Bring up Connor Wanhanen. That misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Wanhanen 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st and struck out swinging back in the 3rd. Page misses low in the dirt. Tyler Boxall going to go out and get him the baseball and have just a small chat with his pitcher.
Last one pitch number 67 of the ball game for him here in the bottom out of the 5th inning. 39 strikes, 28 balls.
This one right back up the middle past the glove of Page and into center field for a base hit. Connor Wanhanen, like his teammate in the last inning, Zach Plunkett, college teammate and teammate with the Miners, both getting their first hits in the same game here. 5th hit of the game for the Miners, and that'll keep the inning alive for Matt DiOrio.
Sure, it feels good to be Wanhanen now. He's reached base a couple times on fielder's choices, but I'm sure he's happy to get his first hit as a Miner now. Maybe start a 2-out rally here.
DiOrio 0 for 1. Page is set and throws a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. DiOrio was hit by a pitch back in the 1st and grounded out back in the 3rd. Page taking a look towards first. Wanhanen leaning towards second. He's going, and they're going to throw down. The throw's not very good, though. No tag, gets past him into center field. Caden Owens comes up gunning, but Connor Wanhanen gets all the way to 3rd, gets a stolen base. The ball got past the infielders into short center field. Caden Owens came up throwing, but not in time. So Connor Wanhanen gets a stolen base and is able to advance to 3rd. And just like that, a single turns into a runner in scoring position. Much different situation now for Matt DiOrio. Simple single will drive him home. 1-1 pitch outside for a ball. Fastball from Page, 2-1. Page is one of 3 members on this club from Stephen F. Austin University that came up here to play for the Chinooks. Missing outside for a ball. 3-1. Page would maybe not be in his best interest here to lose Matt DiOrio with Niles Nygaard on deck. It's popped straight up in the air into short left field, ranging over his Bass. Now has to come back to his left really quickly to make the catch, and that will retire to the side. A Connor Wanhanen single, stolen base, and able to advance to 3rd, puts the pressure on with 2 outs, but the Chinooks get out unscathed. We head to the 6th here in Palmer with the Miners up 1-0 on the Miners Radio Network. Chinooks will bring up Patrick Cromwell, Will Bass, and Jacob Brobst to bat as Eli Morgan comes into this inning with 75 pitches. And Cromwell going to try a bunt. Got it down, throwing his Plunkett, and he got him. As Morgan was charging it, Plunkett told him to get out of the way, fielded it quickly, and made the throw. So the bunt attempt there did not work from Cromwell. The Chinooks just trying to get base runners on. And I'll bring up Will Bass, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts today. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Chinooks. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for the Miners. Ball from Morgan low, 1-0. Just letting you know, in this inning, the ABL MLB scoreboard by Palmer Barr will be brought to you. That one missed inside for a ball, 2-0. Now with outdoor seating, you can enjoy a refreshing drink and good friends outdoors in the Alaska sunshine. Located in downtown Palmer, the Palmer Bar is a great place to grab a bite to eat and take in the sights. Call 907-745-3041 today. That one missed for a ball to Will Bass. So Morgan way behind in the count, 3-0. That one missed inside as well. He'll take his base. 1 out base runner for the Chinooks. As Will Bass, who has been struggling to reach against Miners pitching in this series and has been striking out a lot, able to reach on a walk this time.
Just a second walk now issued by the righty tonight.
Bring up Brobst. Watch out for Will Bass. Could be going. This one popped up into right center field. Chris Hall ranging just slightly to his left to make the catch. Didn't have to move out of position much. 2 gone. That's a big out for Morgan. That will bring up Caden Owens. Number 3 hitter in this order for the Chinooks.
Morgan easily using a strikeout to get a lot of his outs tonight. He started off that way, but really has cooled down that department, but he's using his defense more tonight. Still being effective, though. Just allowed 3 hits and no runs.
Morgan from the stretch. First pitch. Throw down from Plunkett, and it gets past him and into right field. And so Bass will move up to second as Plunkett maybe got a little overzealous that time. Threw it a little high to Jack Zellner. And that one went into right field. Did see Will Bass cheating a little bit too much towards second base. And was actually a pretty close play. So we can see why Plunkett want to throw down. Was a little high with the throw, though. 1-0. The count now on Owens, and Bass will move up to second. Plunkett's going to go talk to his pitcher, Eli Morgan. And looking at the ABL scores right now, in the top of the 7th, the Pilots trying to avenge yesterday's loss to the Bucks. They lead 4-2 in Anchorage. Miners, of course, on top of the Chinooks here in the bottom of the top of the 6th, 1-0. Oilers defeating the Seattle Studs right now in the top of the 6th, 3-2. And in the top of the 6th in Fairbanks, it's the Everett Merchants over the Alaska Gold Panthers, 1-0. That is an Everett Merchants team that has done phenomenal against the ABL. Won a doubleheader just the other day against the Gold Panthers up there, an improving Gold Panthers team. And starting to look at some of the scores from the MLB. Tigers at home of the White Sox 5-4. Mariners in the top of the 9th are on top of the Angels 3-1. Royals on top of the A's 5-1. In Oakland, an Oakland team that has started to play a lot better baseball recently. Padres over the Diamondbacks 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. That pitch misses outside to Caden Owens, 2-0. Orioles over the Indians in early scores, 4-3. Rockies right now, bottom of the 7th, 2 outs in San Francisco, up 6-3. Nationals over the Phillies, 5-2 in Philadelphia. That's a called strike to Caden Owens, now 2-1 the count. Pirates in 10 defeat the Braves, 3-2. Blue Jays blow out the Rangers, 12-2. Rangers falling all the way back to 500. Had some issues at home with Oakland, getting swept by them. Lose the first game of that set to the Blue Jays in Toronto. This one popped up into foul ground. Niles Nygaard ranging to his right to make the catch, and that will retire the side. We'll have the rest of the Palmer Bar scoreboard for you when we come back for the bottom of the 6th. Eli Morgan gets out of that one. Still hasn't given up any runs as the Miners lead 1-0 heading to the bottom of the 6th on the Miners Radio Network. As Grant Page is back on the hill for the Chinooks, getting ready to see the Miners lineup. We'll finish the Palmer Bar scoreboard for you. It's the Mets defeating the Reds 2-1 today in New York. Dodgers over the Marlins 7-1. Marlins having a rough go of it recently, getting swept by the Cardinals, lose the first of the Dodgers in that one. Red Sox in 10 over the Rays in Tampa 4-3. Brewers over the Twins 10-4. Yankees over Houston 3-2. And the Cardinals in 10 defeat the Cubs 3-2. That's your Palmer Bar ABL MLB scoreboard. Missing inside is Page to Niles Nygaard. 1-0 the count. This one popped up on the infield. Coming in ever so slightly is Morton, and he will make the catch right near second base. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. And I'll bring up Jack Zellner. Jack Zellner on today's game, 0 for 2. Ground out. And an unassisted ground out as well in the 2nd and the 4th innings. That one missing inside for a ball to Jack Zellner. Just a matter of time for Jack to start getting that average up and hitting big power numbers. He's been hitting the ball great in batting practice. His average probably doesn't show the work that he's putting in. He works hard, just like all these Miners have been. As this one's grounded to first and scooped strangely by Staudinger. So that one almost got over the glove for a second. Must have taken a funny hop on him. Quickly, 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th. And that will bring up Tyler Wolf.
That was pitch number 68 for Grant Page. He's been cruising along so far. Here we are in the 6th inning. Wonder how many more innings he might have in the tank should things continue the way they go. Just down by 1 run right now.
Chinooks pitching ever since the 3rd inning yesterday have now worked 12 innings or so with giving up just 1 run. Right now they trail 1-0 as the Miners pitching has been better. As Tyler Wolf takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. He walked in the 2nd, stole a base, and then was able to single back in the 4th and score. Swing and a miss. Great curveball from Page, 0-2. Scored on the Jake Schleppenbach RBI single in that 4th inning, the only run of this game. Miners leading 1-0 on 5 hits. Chinooks have 3 hits. That one missed outside for a ball, 1-2. One-two pitch is grounded hard and foul. Count remains 1-2 on Tyler Wolf.
Longest at bat in a while for Grant Page.
Page ready. 1-2 is up and in for a ball. 2-2. Miners coming into this contest at 11-3, 9-3 in ABL play. That one missed in the dirt for a ball. Full count now on Wolf, 3-2. The Chinooks coming in at 9-6, 8-4. These two teams have been really tearing up the ABL so far this year. The other four teams at 500 or worse. On missed high, Wolf was confident in missed high, started running right when the pitch hit Boxwell's mitt. So another two-out base runner here in the bottom of the sixth. And in the bottom of the fifth, that base runner almost came around to score. Connor Wanhanen got a single. Was able to steal a bag, reach third. He's not able to come across the score, though, as Page was able to retire Diorio to end that bottom of the fifth inning threat. Now Zach Plunkett, 2 outs. Tyler Wolf reaches for the third time today. And Plunkett comes up swinging, fouls this one towards the Miners' dugout. Still coming over is Staudinger, and he's not going to have a chance at it. Fan making a catch over there. Gets applause from the fellow Miners fans, 0-1. I think Kyle and I are excited to see this attendance number. It is an impressive one tonight. Miners have been over 1,000 fans already twice this season.
But this crowd is spectacular tonight. A huge crowd on hand tonight.
And we're expecting probably a high for the season so far tonight. What has turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball and a great game. Good pitchers duel between Grant Page and Eli Morgan. 0-1 to Plunkett. Misses high. They're going to throw down to check Wolf, and he's back in safely, 1-1. Might have been a designated pitch out there as Boxwell came out of his stance quickly. Threw down, but Wolf was back in safely. He's still on first with 2 outs after drawing a walk. And Zach Plunkett at the plate, getting his first hit as a Miner and his last at bat back in the fourth. 1-1 pitch is in the dirt. Boxwell scoops it and keeps it in front of him. 2-1. Plunkett 1 for 2. Also struck out back in the second. Ton of room down that left field line as Caleb Potter is shading towards the left center field gap. Lot of room. 2-1. Tried to check his swing, but home plate umpire Jim Leiser saw that he went. 2-2.
Activity brewing out in the Chinooks bullpen. Not sure who that is. We'll let you know in a minute.
And Grant Page, who has pitched a great ball game, may still be coming out fairly early. He's gone 5 2/3 now. 1-run ball. 2-2 pitch. Way outside for a ball. 3-2. But the pinch count starting to get a little high for Page. Just walked Tyler Wolf. And after being ahead in the count to Plunkett, count has gone all the way to a full 1, 3-2. Page takes a look towards first at Wolf. He's not being held. 3-2. Here he goes. Misses up high. And another walk. And now the tension gets a little higher for the Chinooks as a runner moves into scoring position. That's Tyler Wolf, who was able to score back in the fourth in this same situation with runners at first and second. But there's 2 outs instead of 1 as Tyler Boxwell is going to go have a chat with his pitcher, Grant Page.
And we talked about the role he was on, but now back-to-back 8-pitch walks. So that'll certainly run the pitch count up. He's certainly hoping to dwindle that down here, get a quick out.
Now Chris Beck wants to come out and have a formal chat with the pitcher, Grant Page. Boxwell will join him. The Miners spend their mornings lifting, running, and staying in shape by visiting the Alaska Club. Visit them in Anchorage, Eagle River, Fairbanks, Juneau, and the Mat-Su Valley. Visit www.thealaskaclub.com. Home plate umpire Jim Lizer going to come out and disband the meeting.
91 pitches thrown and 5 walks for Grant Page. Outside of the walks, though, he's been very effective on the hill.
Yeah, kind of astounded to see that number that high, issuing 5 free passes with how good he's been able to pitch. He's given up just 5 hits, the 1 run. But could be more here as Jake Schleppenbach, who drove in the only run in this game, now up at the plate. His RBI single scored Tyler Wolf, who was standing at second again. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch is fouled away. Schleppenbach came up swinging hard. 0-1 the count. The outfield trying to come in just a little bit. We see Caden Owens has come in a couple steps. Still playing in the left center field gap is Caleb Potter. 0-1 pitch. The fastball is lined to center field. Going back is Caden Owens, and he will make the catch. That one hung up a little bit too long, but Schleppenbach did try and take advantage of Owens playing in, but it is a flyout, and that will end the inning. So Page gets out of it. We head to the 7th. Kyle Howard will resume the play-by-play activities for the rest of this one. 1-0. Matsu Miners over the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. You're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Welcome back to Matsu Miners Baseball as we head on to the top half of the 7th inning. 1-0 Miners as Eli Morgan comes back to the hill now. Worked very effectively so far. 5 strikeouts to this point. Allowed just 3 hits, no runs. While throwing 85 pitches, 54 of those for strikes. And as for him, usually throwing a lot of pitches. But tonight, kind of narrowing that pitch count down a little bit as this one slapped foul down the third base line by Ferruto. He struck out swinging twice today, so he's behind the count. No balls on 1 strike now. Ferruto, the DH tonight. 2 of the 5 strikeouts issued from the righty tonight have been to Ferruto. Here's a pitch. Curveball doesn't quite hit the edge here. It'll be a 1-1 count now. Outfield and infield playing straight away here for the righty. Ferruto takes a pitch on the outside edge for a called strike.
Morgan now working longer than he did in that start against the Pilots on Saturday. The bullpen starting to maybe work just a little bit. Long tossing is Trent Thompson.
The 1-2 pitch is fouled on the first base line, and that's going out of play again. If a foul ball or home run does damage to your car, visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. So now 1-2 count coming in momentarily. And the ground ball hit to the shortstop, slowly on a roll. The fire across the infield from the shortstop, Tyler Wolf, is in for the out. So a slow roller hits the shortstop, able to get out number 1 for Morgan here in the top of the 7th inning. And that'll be the first baseman Staudinger to do business. Staudinger looking for his second hit of the evening. He singled back in the 2nd inning. Also popped up to Tyler Wolf. Now he digs in. First pitch, a fastball, misses low. It'll be a 1-0 count now. Morgan approaching 90 pitches now. As he delivers the next pitch. Chop back to the second baseman, Slap a block, fielding right there at the edge of the grass and firing over to Jack Zellner in first for the out. Quickly 2 men out for Eli Morgan. With a high pitch count now, it's something he would like to see. We'll see if it's good enough. They let him pitch the 8th inning also. That's assuming he gets to the 7th inning here. Now it'll be Tyler Boxwell to bat here with 2 outs in the inning. Quickly 2 outs again made for Morgan. As you ground to the shortstop and the ground to the second baseman. First pitch, a fastball with the letters. They're going to say it's a little bit high. So now it'll be a 1-0 count. The wind and the 1-0. Fastball misses low. It'll be a 2-0 count. Morgan working very quickly on the hill, trying to keep his rhythm. Something he likes to do a lot is get right back on the hill and throw the next pitch, as he does so here. The 2-0 count. Changeup catches the belt high about right there. So now it'll be a 2-1 count to Boxwell, the catcher. Singled in the 5th inning. Here's a pitch. This changeup misses low. It'll be a 3-1 count now. Boxwell, the catcher, again coming off an injury, steps back in tonight. Already has a base hit in his return. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. Eli Morgan issues a free pass. So now a 2-out walk issued to Boxwell after retiring the first 2 hitters pretty quickly.
That was a tough walk that time for Eli Morgan, especially for the fact that all those pitches were near the strike zone and just couldn't get them maybe that extra couple inches up or into the strike zone.
First pitch fouled down the third base line. It'll be an 0-1 count on Caleb Potter, the left fielder. Potter is a teammate of 2014 Chinook Jackson Kramer. So foul back to screen. And if you didn't know, Kramer last year won the home run derby in the ABL. So Morgan will come set now. An 0-2 count coming. Here's a pitch. Popped out on the first base line. Zellner giving chase, but that one's out of play. And now it'll be 0-2 again. Morgan still just a pitch out of getting out of this inning here, but still activity cranking up in the bullpen. This time it's Corbin Martin, though. I believe they're going to sit down Trent Thompson out there. Thompson, at least for the time being, has stopped throwing. Still activity in the Chinooks bullpen, at least a little bit of stretching out there. Here's a pitch. Fastball rings him up on the inside edge, and down looking goes Caleb Potter. So Eli Morgan battles back after getting the first 2 guys out early in the inning. He allows a walk and then strikes out Caleb Potter looking in the inning. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's stretch time here at Hermon Brothers Field. 1-0 Matsu Miners on your Matsu Miners Radio Network. The day is done for Grant Page. Close the book on him. Pitched very, very well tonight. Threw over 90 pitches, though. I think that's why his night will be done. He allows 1 run on 5 hits. So now he will head out now and watch the rest of this one from the bench. Unfortunately for him, he's not in line for the win, but taking over on the hill tonight in the relief will be Jason Carkinney. We've seen him a couple times this year. Carkinney worked in 4 games, 5 2/3 innings, has allowed 3 runs, all of them earned, has struck out 3 and walked 6 while allowing 4 hits. ERA currently standing at 4.76. Trying to lower that here, but Rick Paskowitz to lead things off will try to higher that. Carkinney delivers. Fastball inside from the big tall righty. It's a 1-0 count. Carkinney, the righty, the 6'3", 185-pounder from the Masters College. Slap foul on the left field line. It'll be an even 1-ball, 1-strike count. The Masters College also the college of choice of pitching coach Chris Beck and also the GM of the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Corbin Martin continuing to loosen in the bullpen. No activity for the Chinooks, so we'll see how long Carkinney goes. So he delivers a slow curveball that misses low. 2-ball, 1-strike count now. Paskowitz officially 0 for 3 in the day. Ground out to short, lined out to second, and flew out to center field as he grounded one of the first basemen. Throwing on to first base for the covering Carkinney and for the out. A nice play there by the first baseman Stoudinger to flip in time for the out. And now with 1 man out, it'll be Chris Hall. Hall reached base twice today. He singled back in the first. And also walked in the third. Flew out to left field his last time up.
Yeah, an unfortunate no decision it's going to be tonight for Grant Page.
Pitch taken low.
As he worked 6 innings, faced 27 batters, gave a 1 earned run, 5 hits, 5 walks, and 93 pitches with 51 of them strikes. But just outdueled by Eli Morgan, who was better tonight and has been a solid starter and almost check in a performance like that out of the Gonzaga pitchers especially, and also several other guys on this staff for the Miners.
2-0 fastball in there for a called strike at the belt. Another good outing for Chinooks pitching. Here's a 2-1. Popped up down the third base side. We'll see if there's room for Cromwell. There will be in foul ground. He'll make the catch. So 2 gone here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Connor Wanhanen. He got his first hit as a minor back in the 5th inning, his last time up. Also reached on a fielder's choice and struck out swinging. But on his base hit, he was able to reach second on a stolen bases first of the year for the Miners, and also reached third on that same play and a throw into center field. High drive in a deep right field on his horse in right field and making a catch at the warning track as Brobst. A 2-out ride given by Connor Wanhanen, not enough to get out of here, though. So that will end the inning for the Matsu Miners. Connor Wanhanen tried to start a rally here, but Brobst tracks this one down in right field. We head to the top of the 8th inning, still 1-0 Miners. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. The night will be over for Eli Morgan also, as he's in line for the 1-0 game as we approach the top of the 8th inning. But on the pitch, Corbin Martin, the righty from Cypress, Texas, a 6'3", 190-pound righty. Texas A&M, one of 3 pitchers on the staff from Texas A&M. But he's been very, very good in relief this year. Has worked in now 5 games. This is 6th. He's pitched 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, and struck out 8. And a 1-0 count here coming. He has had some control problems at times, though. He has walked 6, but in every circumstance has gotten out of the inning. Did get a win the other night in Anchorage against the Pilots. First pitch fastball taken low and inside to David Morton, the second baseman.
Eli Morgan, another astounding start. 7 innings pitched, 25 batters faced.
This one flared down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It's about 2 inches foul. A blooper that could have been trouble. Morton all the way around first base and halfway to second base by the time the ball hit the ground. But he'll have to retreat back to home plate. It'll be a 1-1 count to him.
3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 64 strikes, 37 balls. So that brings him up to 101 pitches. Good decision there to bring him out with the 101 pitches, but goes an inning longer than he did on Saturday.
Fastball with an ease at a called strike. It'll be a 1-2 count. But, again, Eli Morgan still continues a scoreless streak. Has not allowed a run all season long. Fastball upstairs. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Eli Morgan simply getting it done. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Ground ball back up to center field. That's going to be a base hit. As Corbin Martin throws, he pulls himself slightly toward the left of the mound, which allowed the base hit to slip right past him. As the ball shot to the left side of the mound, if you're, at least from a batter's box perspective. So now with nobody out, there will be a runner on first base, a leadoff base hit given to David Morton. It's the first time he's reached today. Now the number 9 hitter, Patrick Cromwell, the third baseman, digs in. 0 for 2 on the day. Throw over to first base, back safely is Morton. Here's a pitch. He squares around a bunt. He bunts this one right back to Corbin Martin. He looks second, but holds off the throw there and fires the first for the out. A successful sacrifice bunt by Cromwell. And now the tying run in scoring position here in the 8th inning. Plunkett will give a few words to the pitcher, Corbin Martin. Martin, again, has worked through several jams this year and has come out on top every time. He has not allowed a run all season long. We'd like to keep that streak going here. As now manager, head coach Jordan Vieira will say a few words to his batter. And Will Bass here. Bass trying to reach base for the second time. He reached base his first time in the 6th inning on a walk. Reached second on an error on a pickoff throw over to first base. And Corbin Martin steps off towards second base to check the runner. Big moment in the game for the leadoff hitter, Bass. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses low. It'll be a 1-0 count now to Bass. Certainly a guy you don't want to be on the base pass this late in the game. Martin comes set. Now he's ready with the 1-0. High drive, right field, giving chase toward the warning track. Now and in right center field, makes the catch. Does Hall. The runner tags at second on his way to third safely. In comes the throw to the shortstop, Tyler Wolf. So now with 2 outs, the tying run standing 90 feet away. But a little sigh of relief for Corbin Martin. That ball hit well in the gap, but out in right field tracking it down was Chris Hall. So now with 2 outs, the batter is Jacob Brobst. Brobst today has singled back in the 4th inning. Also struck out in the 1st and flew out to right. Corbin Martin winds and fires the first pitch as a curveball and it misses low and inside. 1-0 count coming. Brobst, a native of Columbus, Ohio, chops this one down the first base side. Zach Dillner will take it himself to the back. Zellner makes a nice play there. And to end the inning, and it leaves a runner stranded at third base. Would have been the tying run. Corbin Martin gets it done again. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Miners will try to play add-on. It's 1-0 Miners on your Matsu Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to Hermon Brothers Field. Kyle Howard and Kevin Peel here with you. We're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 1-0 Matsu Miners as Matt DiOrio digs in. Officially 0 for 2 in the day. Did reach base on a hit batsman back in the first. Also grounded to second and popping out to shortstop. He faces Jason Carkenny and he fouls this one in front of home plate. It'll be an 0-1 count coming. Still waiting on the official attendance for tonight, but again, a great crowd on hand for Fred Meyer night at the park. A lot of free prizes given away, as you mentioned earlier, $1,500 worth of free items given away to fans and drawings. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball away, misses. It'll be a 1-1 count. Niles Nygaard stands on deck. Miners trying to play add-on. They've had a 1-0 lead since the 4th. Swing and a miss on a fastball, and it'll be a 1-2 count to DiOrio. Miners will be off tomorrow, but we'll head back to Chugiak on Sunday. Game time 4 o'clock for that one. A 3:45 pregame show sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. Here's a fly ball to left field. Should be an easy play out in left for Caleb Potter. He makes the catch. So 1 man out here to start the inning, and that'll bring up Niles Nygaard. Nygaard trying to keep his streak alive where he's gotten a hit in every game he's been in. So far in danger of ending that streak tonight. He flew out to center field his first time up, grounded out to short his second time up, and popped out to second in the 6th inning. Here's a pitch from Carkenny. It's a curveball, and it misses outside. Nygaard with a ton of pop already has 4 doubles on the season. Would like to keep that going as well. Fastball misses inside. It'll be a 2-0 count now. Nygaard ahead in the count. As Brick Paskowitz, the closer, loosening in the Miners bullpen. Coming set. Here's a throw home. It's a pop up and out of play. Be a 2-1 count coming. Also loosening in the bullpen is Alex Caruso. We assume he would come in to play center field if Brick Paskowitz would pitch the 9th. Another good job done by Corbin Martin. Allows a base hit, but able to get out of that jam. Ground ball to third base. The ball is bobbled by third baseman Cromwell. He can't find it. It'll stay right in front of him, and on to first base goes Nygaard. That'll be an error by Cromwell. And for a team that's played very good defensively, had 44 consecutive innings without an error, that's error number 2 tonight. They had 2 last night also. We'll see if the Miners can capitalize here.
And those and their losses, when you look at it, had a big error night against the Pilots the other night. The Miners, when they lost to the Pilots this past Monday, also had a really tough night in the field. So those have been performances that they've regretted. And I guess both these teams, just like all ABL teams, have to patch up the work in the field a little bit.
First pitch outside for a ball, 1-0 count. Here's the 1-0 pitch. High drive, right field. Should be playable out in right field, though, and making a couple of steps to his right and making the catch out in right field is Brobst. So an easy play for him in right field. There's out number 2. Back to first goes Niles Nygaard. And that'll bring up Tyler Wolf to shortstop. Wolf today has reached base all 3 times. He has walked twice, also singled and scored the lone run of this ball game. The Miners on top 1-0 here in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 outs. So Carr Kinney comes set with a runner on first. Now we'll throw over to first base. Nygaard's back safely.
Well, if nothing else tonight for Nygaard, not reaching on a hit, but does keep his reaching base streak alive.
Fastball taken outside for a ball to be a 2-0 count. Certainly, if you're Nygaard, you'll take that. Very impressive to play this many weeks in a row now and be on base every single night. That dependable, and also a great defender at third base. 1-0 count taken inside. It'll be a 2-0 count now. Wolf trying to get another base hit here and reach base for a 4th time tonight. As Carr Kinney comes set, he delivers a curveball upstairs. And now ahead in the count is the shortstop Tyler Wolf. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Runner already on first. So Miners try to plate at least one more this inning. They have 2 men out in the inning, though. They lead at 1-0. We're in the bottom of 8. Short lead for Nygaard at first. Here's a pitch, another curveball, and this one misses inside for a ball. That was a little bit closer that time. But on to first for the 4th time tonight with 3 walks is Tyler Wolf. Talk about plate discipline. That's 3 walks for him tonight.
Just an incredible eye he's had to play tonight to draw 3 walks, and also adding in that single, and he scored the only run of this game on the Jake Schleppenbach RBI single. So his performance has ended up being massive tonight for this Miners team as they look to try and get some insurance runs here in the 8th with Zach Plunkett.
So Plunkett again also has one of the Miners' 5 hits tonight. He also reached base via walk his last time up in the 6th. Time called by the catcher Boxwell. Plunkett also struck out in the 2nd inning on a strikeout swinging. Hoping to do some damage here in his first start with the Miners. Another base hit here would extend the Miners' lead. They have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th. But he could be a hero tonight by extending it here. First pitch to him. Fastball misses away. So now again, Carr Kinney behind the count. Nygaard on second. He reached on an error by the 3rd baseman, Cromwell. Wolf reached on a walk a second ago here. So now the 1-0 count coming from Carr Kinney. Here's a pitch. Fly ball hit to deep left center field on his horse and making a catch in center field now is Owens. The ball started out in left center field and moved a little bit with the wind to center field. Owens able to get a beat on it out in center field to end the inning. Last roundup time for the Chinooks. We head to the top of the 9th inning. 1-0 Miners. See if they can hold on. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball, the Matsu Miners Radio Network. It's that time. It's the top of the 9th inning. The Miners lead at 1-0, so you know what that means. It's Rick Paskowitz time. Paskowitz attempting save number 6 now. He's worked in 7 games. It's his 8th. Worked 6 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, struck out 4, and walked 6. Of course, those 5 saves, trying to get number 6 tonight. Also checking into the game in center field in his spot will be Alex Caruso. So Paskowitz moves from center field to the hill. Got his warm-up throws in as the Miners were at the plate in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And now it's time to try to close the door for Brick Paskowitz. You'd like to do so, and have to do so to start with Caden Owens. And Plunkett immediately heads to a mound visit with Paskowitz to make sure everyone's on the same page. Looking for some breakfast tomorrow morning, look no further. Head out to the Moose Lodge where the Matsu Miners will be serving you breakfast. It's a pancake breakfast they have annually there. We'll have to see you there and have some pancakes with us. First pitch from Brick Paskowitz is a curveball that gets the edge, and ahead in the count is Brick Paskowitz. No balls on 1 strike. 1-0 Miners. Top 9. 1 strike. Here's a pitch. Fly ball hit to left field. Nygaard giving chase and foul ground on his horse, but can't get to it. That's out of play. A foul ball or home run does damage to your car, visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Brick Paskowitz ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, trying to get the leadoff hitter Caden Owens. Here's a pitch. Try to get him chasing on a fastball. This one misses way outside. It'll be a 1-2 count. Miners leading 1-0, trying to cling to that lead and get out of here with another victory over the Chinooks team. They have yet to lose to them this year. Trying to keep that streak alive tonight. Paskowitz comes set, delivers. Fly ball hit the center field, hit softly, and making the catch on the infield grass is the second baseman Schleppenbach. It's a flare that hit harder than it really was. So Schleppenbach makes the catch behind the second base back, and the outfield grass very shallow out there. 1 man out now for Matthew Ferruto. Ferruto today has not been on base at all. Had a big night last night, though. Reached base a couple times last night with a couple of hits. Today, struck out swinging twice and grounded to the shortstop. Paskowitz comes set and delivers. This one popped in the air toward the first base side. Zellner and Plunkett giving chase, but it's going over the Miners' dugout. Now an 0-1 count coming.
The switch to the cleanup spot has not been so friendly to Matthew Ferruto tonight after the 2 hits in the 2-hole yesterday. 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Miners have done a good job keeping this cleanup hitter off base, who's been one of those guys that's been almost a lock to get hits for the Chinooks, it seems, in their recent winning streak.
The 0-1 pitch is a curveball that catches the inner edge. It'll be an 0-2 count. Again, Paskowitz ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes to the second consecutive hitter. Paskowitz looks in for the sign now. Comes set. Shakes off a couple signs here, though. Now he winds and fires. The 0-2. Fastball misses way upstairs. 1-2 count coming now in a moment as Paskowitz will regain himself a little bit. Outfield and infield both straight away. Although Hall playing slightly toward the right field line. Here's a pitch. Curveball chopped out on the third base line. It's going into the Chinook bullpen. So now the 1-2 count coming from Brick Paskowitz. 1-0 Miners. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Hermon Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. Miners going for win number 12 right here. Here's a pitch. Curveball just misses out low and away, and Brick Paskowitz thought he had it. But now it'll be a 2-2 count coming to Matthew Ferruto. Paskowitz shakes off the sign, winds, and delivers. Pop up straight up in the air. This one behind the plate and going out of play. Last summer, Ferruto spent time with the Lima Locos in the Great Lakes League. Kevin familiar with that team as well, with their Lake Erie Monarchs last year, a team in that league as well.
And he had some solid at-bats for that Lima team. Had a lot of important hits for them. Good numbers.
Here's a pitch to Ferrutos, a ground ball to the shortstop. Should be an easy play at the field and throw across the infield by Tyler Wolf. And that's out number 2. Paskowitz has the Chinooks down to out number 2 and the final out of the game. Staudinger will be the last hope for the Chinooks team. They're still down by a run, so each batter of the bats in this inning is the potential tying run. Paskowitz trying to nail down save number 6. Here he comes home with the first pitch. It's a change up at the knees. It's called strike. Paskowitz ahead in the count. No balls and 1 strike. Staudinger waves the bat around and awaits the 0-1. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. On a foul tip, actually, they say. In the mid of Plunkett now. It'll be an 0-2 count. Staudinger down to his final strike. The fans raise to their feet here and applaud. Paskowitz winds and fires the 0-2. Pop foul, now to play. It'll be another 0-2 count coming to him. Fans looking for win number 12 officially. Overall, that is. Win number 10 in ABL play. Paskowitz ready with the 0-2 pitch. Tried to get him chasing on a fastball upstairs, but couldn't go. Now a 2-2 count coming to Staudinger. Caruso playing slightly in left center field. Now the 1-2 pitch. This one misses low and inside. That goes back to the screen. It'll be a 2-2 count now.
And Paskowitz trying to go with the big put-out pitch there. Put a lot of velocity behind that. Ended up low, bouncing into the dirt.
The 2-2 count. 2 men out. Miners up 1-0. Here it comes. Fastball misses outside. We're going full now. Paskowitz had him ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. But now Staudinger has worked the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch coming here in the top of the 9th inning. High drive hit to deep right field, but in his tracks in right field and making the catch is Chris Hall. The Miners win it tonight. 1-0. Consecutive starts by Eli Morgan. This team wins 1-0 ball games, but when you're pitching that well, I guess it's enough to get you by. They score their 1 run in the 4th inning, and they continue to keep rolling. Still have not lost to the Chinooks tonight. They keep that going tonight, Kevin, and now improved to 12-3 on the season overall, and now 10-3 in ABL play.
How about 6-0 against the Chinooks? The more important number for them, though, is the 4-0. That is a 4-game lead in terms of the division race. That's a 4-game difference. And when you are trying to win games in this league and trying to win the division to get yourself to the top of the World Series, the most important thing is to beat your division opponents. Right now, the Miners are 4-3 against the Pilots. They're right now 4-0 in play against the Chinooks. And this is a Chinooks team that has been really rolling on all cylinders coming into this. And I know they did lose to the Pilots yesterday, or 2 nights ago. They lost to the Pilots, but Miners came in, got a really sound victory last night in Chugiak, and now they do the same today. Not as much from them on the offensive side of things, but still exactly what you wanted, a good performance. And this pitching is becoming an every night thing, that they are getting it done no matter what. So give credit to this team. They keep finding ways to win.
And it doesn't matter if it's 1-0, doesn't matter if it's 10-0, they're still winning. That's the important thing. It's always a different way to win as well. It's Tyler Wolf scoring a run tonight and reaching base 4 times, so an outstanding performance for him. And again, Morgan on the hill. Been lights out all season long. Still has not allowed a run, and now his 4th appearance, 3 starts. And a great start tonight. And 1,211 fans show up tonight and to watch the Miners win. So now we'll enter into the Napa Auto Parts postgame show. We'll have the skipper, Ben Taylor, and a player of the game. And just a moment for you. Stay tuned with us. You listen to Matsu Miners Baseball, the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to Matsu Miners Baseball. Joined with Matsu Miners skipper Ben Taylor. The Miners take this one 1-0 again. They stay undefeated on the season against this Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks team. Coach, congratulations on the win first off.
Yeah, thanks. It was finally nice to win a game at home.
And again, a good Chugiak team that was playing red hot baseball coming into this series, and all you've done is shut them out twice. How does that feel to have the pitching staff come out perform that way so far?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, you can never expect, to pitch that well every night. I mean, but these guys do a good job. They really, really compete, and I thought we did a nice job playing defense behind Eli and Corbin and Bricks as well. So it was a good game. These are the games you got to win.
And Chugiak coming into the game at one point had 44 innings without having an error. Your team capitalized that this year. A couple of errors in the consecutive nights, and you've got to capitalize on those 5 runs, this year in the past 2 nights, getting the win. What does that mean to be able to capitalize on those mistakes?
Good stat work by you.
That's
awesome. No, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, when you got 2 good teams, somebody flinches. I mean, a good team is going to take advantage. And, we were lucky that some breaks fell our way today. So, we'll take it any way we can get it.
And you have the two TCU players making their way into the lineup tonight, the first time they've started on the same game. They both get their first hit as a minor. What's it like to have those guys in here after the big run they had with the College World Series?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, they're winning players, and they've joined a winning team, so it should be a good recipe for success. And it was nice for Zach. I thought Zach caught the ball really well tonight. It was nice. Connor got his first hit, so maybe it takes a little pressure off, and we go from there. But got a lot of good players on this team. Putting this lineup together is pretty tough each night. So really lucky to be here.
And the off day tomorrow, but the big community event tomorrow with the pancake breakfast at 9 a.m. at the Moose Lodge. A good event for fans to get out there and go see tomorrow. But back at it with Chugiak on Sunday. Any final thoughts about tonight and going forward with Chugiak again?
Yeah, that's something these guys do an unbelievable job. They bust their butts on the field, and people don't realize they're out in the community almost every day, and they do a really good job with it. And we ask a lot of them, and they're out selling tickets and pancake breakfast stuff, and they do a really good job of their class act. And then you see these guys out hitting at 1:30. So we have a lot of guys that have been here since about 11 o'clock in the morning. And that's how they do it every day. So I really respect what they're doing. I mean, these guys are grinding pretty hard. And, it's nice that they're getting some fruits for their labor. Off day tomorrow. Nice.
And it'll be good to have a little day to rest up, but they'll be back at it again on Sunday.
Yeah, who do we play on Sunday?
Same Chinooks team again. So
you're on top of it tonight.
Oh, they're ready to go again. I'm sure they're looking again. Another win over the Chinooks again. Still stay perfect against them this year. So now we'll step aside, and on second we'll have maybe the man of the night and Eli Morgan again. Another shutout pitching on the mound tonight, starting tonight. And Kevin Peel will join him in a moment. So you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Napa Auto Parts postgame show. Kyle Howard with skipper Ben Taylor. Thanks for listening in. We'll be back in a moment.
Thanks, Rip.
Welcome back into the Napa Auto Parts post-game show. I'm Kevin Peel, joined with the player of the game, Eli Morgan. Eli, how we doing?
Doing good. Glad to be pitching for this team.
That's good. And you guys just dynamite. I know I've never seen any pitching staff like this, but you guys just night in and night out are getting it done, especially you adding on to that. How did you feel tonight? What was fueling you tonight?
Oh, well, I felt good. I felt loose going in. I think a big key to my performance today and the last couple of starts has just been tempo. Getting the guys involved behind you. If you're working quick, they'll make plays for you, it seems. So just try to keep my tempo up, keep throwing strikes, and it's been working so far.
And your last two starts, you've gone actually over 100 pitches now. You had 105 in that six-inning game, which was at an abnormal time for you. You're coming back and pitching at a more normal time, a 7:15 start tonight. But getting later on in your pitching appearances, it doesn't seem like it's phasing you. Do you feel tired at all as you go on, or is it just
no? I mean, I stick with my throwing routine. Make sure I get a couple days of long toss between each start, and if I stick with my routine, I think I'll be fine. To go over 100 pitches each time.
Well, that's good. And this team moving to 12-3 overall. It's got to be fun playing with this team.
Yeah, it's a special group of guys. I mean, we got talent up and down. Even the guys that aren't playing are special players, and pitching and hitting both are just incredible right now.
And the hitting right now, maybe still struggling a little bit, is only gave you 1 run, but did it feel like it was a lot bigger than a 1-0 lead with what you were working with?
It did, because we were challenging them the whole time. We ended up only scoring 1 run, but it felt like we were right in it. If we really needed a run, I think we could have pushed another couple across the board.
Of course, and this is another big win for you. You guys moved to 6-0 overall against the Chinooks. I think you're 4-0 in ABL play. You guys will play again Sunday. How do you guys keep it going?
Stick with the same approach. Warren will be pitching that game, I believe, and he's a guy that likes to work quick, pound the zone, and if you do that against any team, you're going to be fairly successful.
Of course, Eli. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another great start for Eli Morgan. He's our player of the game tonight. When we come back, Kyle and I will wrap it up real quick for you. You're listening to the Napa Auto Parts postgame show.
Welcome back to the post-game show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. The Miners again take this one 1-0 again, Kevin. Back-to-back shutouts against a very good hitting Chinooks team. Last night they got a lot more hits than tonight, but still, nonetheless, a good pitching performance against this team. It's been night in and night out. Just the starting pitching for this team has been phenomenal. Every night they come out there and just dominate. And I don't know what to say about that. Really, it's been so phenomenal. You come out to expect it every night. You shouldn't expect shutouts every single night, and that's just what they keep going out there throwing. And it's really encouraging to see that, Kevin, and really exciting if you're a Miners fan to see that every night.
And this was a Chinooks team that came in really hitting the cover off the ball when you look at it outside. I mean, even that loss against the Pilots 2 nights ago, they had 6 runs on the board. I mean, this is a team that came in hitting the ball really well against all sorts of teams. We're talking the Bucks. We're talking the Panners on the road, a lot of those games. This was a team that came in at 7-1 on the road. And the Miners, while maybe they're not tearing the cover off the ball themselves, they're not getting a ton of runs, but in talking to Eli Morgan, he said it felt like it was a much bigger lead than 1-0. Like a 1-0 lead is essentially, it seems like a 4-run lead for this team because of how locked down their pitching has been. And while some of their pitching, they've ended up in jams, that was not the case tonight. Not even close. Eli Morgan came out there. Corbin Martin gave up a hit, of course, in the 8th inning, but quickly got the next 3 hitters, and Brick Paskowitz a 1-2-3 9th. It's almost an expectation, the performance that they're having right now because of how well they're playing. But I think you and I could say the same thing. We just have not seen pitching dominance like this. At any level. At any level. At any level at all. With how much at times the hitting has struggled. And maybe the skipper, Ben Taylor, will still want to talk to his hitters about that. But the thing is that this team is confident. They don't need a ton of runs. They
expect to win every night.
They expect to win. They have that confidence. They expect to win. They have the best pitching staff. I think we can say that with confidence now. We're essentially almost a third of the way through the season, and this team has a 1.4 ERA as a team.
And you're talking about a guy tonight that would typically be your 5 starter, I guess. And on most teams, they comes in there, pitches the 5th game at least, in that sense. How about 3-0 with a 0 ERA? It's not allowed a single run this entire season. 24 strikeouts so far this year for this guy, averaging 8 strikeouts per night. And you're talking about a guy that was a number 5 in the rotation to start the game, and that's what you're getting night in and night out with this team, and it's been phenomenal.
And not only that, you add to the troubles for the Chinooks. You have to face a guy in Zach Warren who has come out and dominated the Chinooks in his first start in Chugiak. He's going back to Chugiak Sunday for that 4 p.m. start. He also had a dominating start against the Pilots. He has a 0 ERA, and he's going to be another tough guy to hit. So it's just like, and talking to the other broadcaster, Garrett Mansfield, before he left really quickly, he's like, we have hitting the Chinooks, but we don't know what it is. You guys are just unbelievable. You're silencing us, essentially. And in many ways, I mean, the Miners are the same way. They have a ton of hitting too. I guess when you look at it, maybe teams are just lucky the Miners aren't blowing them out right now, because their pitching is the definition of lockdown. There's just, I've not seen a better 15-game performance in my career, and I'm sure in many people's careers. You're going to see that scout showcase in July at Mulcahy Stadium.
Scouts are going to be locked in the pitching.
And how many of these pitchers are going to be in that All-Star game when you look at it? I mean, this pitching staff is on the map, not only for, right now their performance, but down the road with how good they're pitching, how long they're lasting. I mean, Eli Morgan has pitched over 100 pitches in his last 2 starts, 105 and 101, and he said it wasn't even flinching. I mean, it was not tiring for him at all. I mean, he's ultra prepared. This team has it down. They have what they need to have. They have the confidence, they have the work ethic, and it's just really hard to see this team not continuing to win, 12 out of 15 games like they've been able to do because of how good they've been. Of course, now in this stretch, you're going to have at times your lulls. It's just baseball. And
we'll chalk that up to the 3 games they lost here at home to the Pilots. They go on the road and beat the Pilots 4 games. So it's going to happen, as you mentioned. It's part of baseball. You're not going to win every night. But it seems like
team seems like they could.
Night. It's a little bit
out.
Different, but it's incredible just to see this every single night. But a couple of things to talk about besides focusing on how great this pitching staff, because we could go on and on all night about that, I think. But
we could make a podcast about that right
we
now.
certainly could. I'm sure the scouts out there would appreciate that. But but seriously, the TCU guys come in. They start tonight. And Connor Wanhanen getting his first hit as a Miner. Also, Zach Plunkett doing the same thing, getting his first start behind the plate. It's good to see them coming in quickly and making an impact on this team. And even if Wanhanen had a base hit, he's been on base a couple times the past 2 nights on Fielder's Choices. So he's been putting the ball in play. And maybe he didn't have the greatest luck last night, but it's good to see these guys coming in here and stepping up and making a difference.
He did, and him and Plunkett both. Plunkett with a single. But you look even at the outs that were recorded for Wanhanen. His one fly ball out was a deep drive to right field, to the warning track. It shows you that he has power, too, that's coming. This team has a very powerful aspect behind them. They have a lot of power in the middle of that lineup. It's really just a matter of time until this offense just starts unhinging on this league, because they're ready to break out. They are. Their batting practice has been phenomenal. We've been watching it. I mean, you add that pitching staff in, and it's a brutally amazing combination for this team.
And again, we got to talk about Tyler Wolf's his perfect performance tonight, reaching base all 4 times, walking, and getting a base hit back in the first inning, coming around to score. That's the only run that they were able to manufacture in either team tonight. So we got to talk about how great he was tonight at the plate, locked in. So such a great eye tonight, and how important do you think that was tonight to get him going again? He's had a couple games this year, I guess, where he's not been on this game. I guess offensively, where Or he's been hitting well, but he's been hitting it right at somebody, I guess would be the thing. It's a guy that doesn't strike out very often, so he's a guy that's putting the ball in play, just had some bad luck. Tonight, you see him locked in, getting on base all the time. Do you think some good things coming forward?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he's a guy with great plate discipline, like many of these guys on this team. When you're able to draw 3 walks, I mean, he's definitely on the upswing. He had 2 singles in last night's game, has a single in this one. We know his clutch factor. He's had that game-tying hit against the Pilots last week. We know what he can do. It's a matter of time before that bat gets really hot as well, and we all know what he can do in the field. He's had a couple tough luck errors this year, but, I mean, tonight he was solid at shortstop and as good as you can play.
And he's a great defender at shortstop as well. That's why you never see him getting a day off, because you lose a lot defensively if you take him out of the lineup. So a good night for him and a good night for the Miners. Again, they win 1-0 tonight. They improved now to 12-3 on the year. That sounds crazy, I know, but they're 12-3 on the year overall.
Not with this team. Not a crazy number at all.
Win number 10 in ABL play as well, so they're 10-3 in that department. They increased their lead on the Chinooks to 2 games officially, but now with them winning now their 4th game officially. 2 of those games had not counted with the exhibition, but the 4th game officially they've won now. A good start toward winning that season series. So if they're able to win the season series, but they could potentially do it this week. If they continue to play at this rate, they could potentially lock up that tiebreaker over the Chinooks for sure this week. But again, they're now with this one, they're now have essentially a 3-game lead, a 2-game lead statistically, but a 3-game lead if you consider the tiebreaker. So an encouraging last couple nights for this Miners team. They shut out the Chinooks back-to-back times, get another win tonight, and the Miners just keep rolling.
Yes, they do, and they got that win at home, which, of course, we talked about the 3 losses of the Pilots, but they overcame that tonight and didn't even flinch in doing so with a sound victory tonight over these Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks.
With that, well, let's go ahead and sign off here, and thank you all for listening tonight. If you're around Palmer tomorrow, stop by the Moose Lodge and join us for the pancake breakfast from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon tomorrow. Love to see you there. See all the Miners out there serving you breakfast. Again, the Miners, they get it done tonight, 1-0 at home. They improve to 12-3 on the year, 10-3 in the ABL. I'm Kyle Howard for Kevin Peel. So long and have a great evening.